Hi, I'm Glenn Simpson, and I've collected comics for over 40 years, and I'm showing off my collection one box at a time. Today, we're looking at box number 62. We're going to pick up with some more Fantastic Four. Technically, that's volume 6, and then we are going to go through a bunch of Fantastic Four one shots and miniseries and things, and we are eventually going to find our way ending with FF Volume 1, which is highly tied to Fantastic Four. So I'm so glad you're here. Please like and comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel. If there's anything you'd like to see that's inside one of the packs that we skip over, please let me know. But otherwise, here we go with box number 62. All right, so at the end of the last box, we looked at the very last. They told us on the covers of the books that it was the last Fantastic Four, that there would never be any more. Well, of course there was. There's Fantastic Four number 1. Right there. The Dan Slott series. Sarah Pacelli. That's the cover to issue 1. I think there was a little break there. During that time when they were trying to downplay the stuff that Marvel didn't have the movie rights to anymore. We've got issue 4. There's another group that has moved into their building. Now that they're back. There. Issue 8. We're almost to the War of the Realms. Got the team fighting, what is it, Victorious? Is that her name? There. And then we completely skip over War of the Realms. But we do have our special 650th issue spectacular with The Thing and Alicia Masters about to marry. There's actually a one shot that is where they actually marry. We'll see that in a bit. In this case, they don't stick to the legacy numbering. We jump back to 9. Fighting old Dr. Doom. Got number 16. Point of origin. There. Oh yeah, this was the story where they go off into space and they find this planet. And they find out that somebody from that planet had sent the cosmic rays that transformed them into the Fantastic Four, that it was not a mistake on Reed's part. There would have been no way for him to know that the rays were going to be there. And Johnny meets this nice bird lady who he decide they'd figure out that they are soulmates, right? They should be together. That's issue 17. Issue 24. The Nexus War with Thor. Oh, special bonus story included. That's not part of what's going on here. I don't remember what's going on here. Let's see. So I need to put a label on this one. But in theory, it is Fantastic Four number 25. The Alex Ross Timeless variant featuring Black Bolt. There. Snazzy. 28. Got that Ultimate Nullifier again. Mark Brooks doing the cover. Love him. That's awesome. 29. Sweet, sweet, sweet. King in Black crossover. All a bunch of symbiote stuff going on. All the heroes are getting tied up in it. I'm not a big symbiote person. Issue 32. Johnny's got some, got some bad stuff going on. He's not keeping his thing where he needs to keep his thing, if you know what I mean. Right there. 32. Oops. Team is reluctantly stuck in Latveria to attend the wedding of Doom and his bride. There. 36. Johnny, as I mentioned, doesn't keep his business where he needs to keep it, and Doom gets mad at him, so Doom turns him. He causes him to lose his control over his powers in the same way that, of course, the Thing can't change back and forth. So he's stuck in Human Torch form. So there you go. The team goes trick-or-treating. There. I'm sure that's all that happens here. 44. Visible Woman. Chatting up some watchers. Wait, written by Slott, drawn by Stott. Or something like that. Look at that. Oh, the Reckoning War, the story that Dan Slott had been wanting to tell for a gazillion years. He finally was telling us there's a one-shot that continues that. Oh, well, it's still going on here. 45. There. 48. Team gets involved in the Judgment Day, the Eternals and Avengers and X-Men. The Celestials determine that mutants, or although the Celestials come to Earth and are starting to judge everyone on Earth, everybody is being judged. Visible Woman versus Exterminatrix from the old Marvel Boy miniseries. Oh, and that was the last issue of that, right? 45, 48. Make sure. I believe so. Okay, so then next series, current series. No, not the current series. The second to most current series. North Riding. Fabulous series. I highly recommend this. Of course, Butamus covers by Alex Ross. There's issue 1. Issue 8, I have the George Perez variant. So Marvel contracted with several people who just had various sketches that George Perez had done, and brought them in and used them as covers. So, and of course I had to have those. He's my favorite artist. So that's the George Perez. I mean, he originally drew that in '79. There you go. Back to the regular covers by Alex Ross. Issue 9 right there. Through issue 12. Going to a world where all the superheroes are dinosaurs. Right there. Which would any other artist, they wouldn't look realistic, but he, Alex Ross draws realistic dinosaurs as superheroes. Of course, the greatest dinosaur denizen of that world is the Doctor Doom dinosaur. Right there. Fantastic Four 13. Got a little visit to, can't remember who they're visiting there. Isaac Newton, somebody like that. My cover's got a little scrub on it. Looks like Reed's been roughhousing and got his face scraped up. Let's see. Let's see, 17. Kind of a weird time adventure where the skeletons of the Fantastic Four are discovered. And they're like, well, why are our skeletons being discovered? But it all works out. Issue 17, issue 20. So this is the storyline where Reed had to send the Baxter building full of people forward in time to deal with an issue. And so it was going to take a year. It sent it a year forward in time. So basically everybody who was in it, their families wouldn't see them for a year. And everybody got mad at them. Plus they had nowhere to live. So they go to live in, I can't remember where it's, Oklahoma, something like that. And are trying to fit in. And Ben and Johnny decide to get jobs. And then compete over who's going to be the better checkout person at the grocery store. Then the Fantastic Four comes back to New York in time to be a part of the blood hunt. Vampires take over the world for a bit. And this one's a real big focus on Reed and his stretchiness in issue 21. And then it goes through issue 28 with a beauty cover that I don't remember what happens in. There. And we get to issue 29, part of the One World Under Doom. Dr. Doom takes over the world after the blood hunt because he's now the Sorcerer Supreme, not Doctor Strange. Everybody starts to decide to fight him, but then he keeps winning. And he takes out the Fantastic Four one at a time. And you kind of get like a Fantastic 3, Fantastic 2, Fantastic 1, Fantastic 0 thing going on. And that ends that series. And then I've got a couple issues of the next series, but they're not filed yet, so you'll just have to wait for a future video on that, or watch for my unboxing videos. So we've had an annual, this Contest of Chaos, that annual. So we got Ghost Rider versus Human Torch right there. It's another one of those things that's running through all the annuals, or several of the annuals, and on one single story. And jumping back, we got back to the 90s. We got Fantastic Four, Atlantis Rising. This was a crossover event thing that was going on back then, through several of the books. It's issue 1. Issue 2 has kind of it's got a, what do you call it? It's plastic and it's clear, and it's got some stuff printed on it, but not other stuff. That thing, there, make sure that's coming in clear. Alright, then we get to Fantastic Four Big Town. I forget the premise of this. It's like an alternate universe. I forget what the difference is. That's issue 1. Mike McCone art, known for Exiles, that we saw a couple of videos ago. Ending in issue 4. Not sure how I feel about his Red Skull. Written by Steve Englehart, classic Marvel writer. Got this Fantastic Four, and the indicia, it's actually Fantastic Four Cosmic Size Special. So it's not filed in the C's, it's filed here. Got this gorgeous cover. I mean, it's just weird how photorealistic that one is. Right there. Just a special one shot. Get some more of your money. Fantastic Four Fireworks. Marvel Remix. This was where they actually went to classic. Did a couple of these, I think. Classic Marvel storylines and rewrote them, redrew them. Just basically went back and retold the same story, just with modern storytelling. They didn't do it very often, though. So there you go. Gerard Jones, Jeff Johnson, issue 1 through issue 3. This guy was the Marvel Remix sort of mascot right there, which he didn't, so we didn't see much of him ever again. The very recent Fantastic Four First Steps one shot that's kind of a magazine, as it would appear in the world of the Fantastic Four First Steps movie. Like if they have comic books there, that's what the comic book looks like. Fantastic Four House of M. Period of time when the world has been changed and the mutants run the world. What does the Fantastic Four look like in that situation? Issue 1 through issue 3. Looks like Magneto's going to get a little backstab there. Fantastic Four in Ataque del Modoc. I think these one shots were done. Some were done published both in English and Spanish. I think this is the English version, but it's just the Fantastic Four fighting old Modoc there. A couple of those. Yeah, here's the other one. Fantastic Four, Isla De La Muerte, frightful might of El Chupacabras. So, there you go. The infamous Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4, written by Grant Morrison. And the important thing to know about this series is, number one, the Marvel Knights was never, I'm not saying it wasn't canon, but it's always a little off to the side. And two, the Fantastic Four are being mind controlled throughout this. So there's this one, this is where the panel is of like Sue checking out Submariner and yearning for him or whatever. That keeps going around, and everybody's like saying that Sue's a bad person for cheating on her husband or whatever. And it was just, there's context is all I'm saying. So that's issue 1. That runs through issue 4 right there. Giant robot. Remember I said Dan Slott did his Reckoning War that he'd been planning to do for forever. Well, there you go. He starts in Fantastic Four Reckoning War Alpha. Jack of Hearts, She-Hulk, who are dating. There. Oops, sorry. I know that didn't hurt you, but still sorry. Sorry if I rated. Fantastic Four Roast. So this was an interesting series, or the interesting one-shot. It was just written by Fred Hembeck, who was a comedy cartoonist at the time, kind of a fanboy, and this is his style, and he drew the cover, and then he wrote this entire thing where the Fantastic Four is getting roasted, where, you know, their friends are all coming up and saying mean things about them for humorous purposes. It's kind of hard to explain a roast, but and each page is done by, or each set of pages is done by a different Marvel artist. So there's like 20-30 artists in here. So it's a very interesting snapshot of the Marvel, bullpen of artists at the time. Let's see, we've got Fantastic Four Special, written by Dwayne McDuffie. There, just a one shot. Fantastic Four Special Edition. There, some art and story by John Byrne. Reprinting the original story of the Fantastic Four. I'm terrible with issue numbers, if you haven't figured that out yet. The original story where the Fantastic Four fights a Submariner, and then there's apparently an additional art and story by John Byrne in there. What issue did Wolverine start in? 174? Well, Fantastic Four, The Legend. I don't know what these are. There's several of these, so-and-so, The Legend, that came out right about the time. I guess this was about the time that they all disappeared into the Heroes Reborn world or something. Because, this is Carlos Pacheco, and, he did that last issue of Fantastic Four, so I don't know, but there's a Thor, The Legend, and, all of them. Let's see. Fantastic Four, The Prodigal Son. This was a Peter David writing this. Kind of a multi-part story. Each part involved, a different storyline. It's got Kazar. I think it's got the High Evolutionary, maybe? Don't remember. What? Oh, sorry. Don't remember what was going on there. Pretty cover by Mark Brooks, though. Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Comics Magazine. So this was an imagining of what would the next issues have been like if Stan Lee and Jack Kirby had never left the Fantastic Four magazine when they did. So 12 issues. This issue 1. This issue 6. There. Issue 7. There. And ends with issue 12. Apparently, if they would have the Fantastic Four fighting Doctor Doom a lot. What would have happened? So there you go. We got a one shot. Fantastic Fourth Voyage of Sinbad in focus. Chris Kermit, Pasquale Ferry, beautiful artist. The Fantastic Four basically teams up with what's his name? Not Aladdin. Sinbad. Well, yeah, Sinbad. Right there. Cool stuff. Fantastic Four, True Story. I'm trying to remember what the deal was with that. That's issue 1. Oh, well, nightmare. So, nightmares involved. FF bottle. Fantastic Four 2099. So what was interesting about this was most of the 29 books were different heroes, people in the future taking on the names of the characters from the past. And in Fantastic Four 2099, it's just straight up the FF from some point in their future, coming to even further to the future, and hanging out there for a while. Rick Leonardi, Al Williamson, doing that art. Through issue 8. Didn't last very long. Only lasted through issue 8. But we are once again Pasquale Ferry that we saw. Pasquale Ferry. We just saw on that Sinbad thing. Right there, teaming up with Doom 2099, who was also the original. Then they would later do these one-shots where they kind of reimagined some of the 2099 characters. So this is a different Fantastic Four. This is an actual four locals, if you will. Fantastic Four 2099 there. Then, because they were so popular for a while there, Fantastic Four got their own quarterly book. That's what most of these Marvel Unlimited series are. It's quarterlies. So, got the team here, guest starring Black Panther. It's a little pricier book. It just told more stories that were kind of not as set in continuity. I mean, they are, but where they fit, it's not as clear. But anyway, issue 1 through issue 4 there. The battle you've always waited for, that you've seen before, but they're doing it again. Oh, and this might be enough said issue as it mentions there, so there's no dialogue. Maybe it's just fighting. Issue 5 there. We got Scott Lang hanging out with them as he was doing in the regular book. So I mean, it would be the lineup from the book. If the lineup changed in the regular book, that would be reflected here. But just oh, and this was Ms. Marvel, bless her heart. She just kind of kept devolving there. 5. And then issue 8. Have another death of Reed Richards. He tends to die a lot. For Unlimited. Kind of hard to see the numbers. In fact, I have no idea because the number's on the back. But the last one, let's see, wait. The last one was 8, so this must be 9. Right there. And then this series ends with 9, 10, 11, probably 12. Right there. Fantastic Four Unplugged. 99 cents. It's just trying to attract new readers with a cheaper product. There, the Unplugged is because ties into the MTV Unplugged, where musicians would play without electrical instruments. So you know, stripped down the bare minimum. Fantastic Four Unplugged. That ran through issue 6. Right there is just 99 cents. Was not a big success, thus sort of suggesting that maybe lowering the price is not the answer. Then we got a decently famous series, Fantastic Four versus the X-Men. Basically, Kitty Pryde has reached the point where she is stuck in her phased form, and she has to concentrate to become solid instead of the other way around. And so the X-Men take her to Dr. Doom to get help. You've got Franklin, who is serving as a member of the Power Pack, and all kinds of stuff. I think this is all a bad dream that he's having. But at the time, his dreams were prophetic. So issue 1, and ran through issue 4. Right there. And last but not least, hang on, let me get you straightened out there. We have Fantastic Four Wedding Special, where the Thing and Alicia Masters finally tie the knot and become husband and wife. And that is all of the Fantastic Four that I have. Anyway, the next thing we run into is Fate. It's Fate that this would be the next book. So we saw Book of Fate in a previous video, and this precedes that. This is coming out of the 0 Hour event, and this guy is basically the next iteration of Dr. Fate, the Golden Age hero, and he's all 90s up, and he's got daggers and all kinds of things like that, rather than the traditional superhero implements. So that's his 0 issue right there. Issue 1 right there. Through issue 8 there. Alan Grant, Lynn Kaminsky. Forget the Williams, what his first name is, the artist. Issue 9. Just fighting all kinds of magical, demony things as a Dr. Fate type character would do. Issue 16. There, I guess he's traveling to my part of the world, Southern Fried Nightmare, right there. Issue 17 of Fate 17. And that ends with issue 22 with kind of a, hey, I want my stuff back kind of arc right there. Alright, we looked at, in a previous video, we saw the elementals, and the water elemental, her superhero name was Fathom, and she got her own series. This is not to be confused with Michael Turner's Fathom, which I don't happen to own any of, but still don't get confused. So that's this is the Kamiko Fathom, issue 1 through issue 3, right there. And then she got another series that was not quite as nicely drawn. We're just pumping stuff out at this point. Issue 1 right there through issue 3 right there. Let's see. Then I kind of have one issue I picked up in an auction or something with a little bundle of books. This is technically Fear number 29. It's just that when they changed it from a straight up horror book to more of an adventure book, starring Morbius. It's Morbin time. Then they called it, Adventure into Fear on the cover, but it's really just Fear 229. Let's see, and now we get into all sorts of Fear this, Fear that. Fear itself. So this was what Thor's grandfather returns to Earth and starts throwing hammers around, and different people get hammers and they get taken over by the hammers and some things like that. Issue 1 right there through issue 7 there. Sin, daughter of Red Skull, is one of the hammer owners. So this is kind of a big crossover. Fear itself, 7.1. I think this is some sort of a transition with Steve Rogers and Bucky, as Bucky had become Captain America. There, 7.1. Oh, well, okay, yeah, the 7.1s through 7.3, each one is really a one shot with a different bit of story, I think. So this one had Iron Man. Let's see. I think then there were some other just straight up one shots. This one was Fear itself, the Black Widow, and there's some more one shots in there. And then there's Fear itself, the Worthy, which this one, if I remember correctly, is kind of a official handbook kind of thing with just the major players in this crossover. Got Fear itself, Deadpool just basically figures out something like he figures out what's going on, and he decorates a regular hammer and convinces a guy that it's one of those special hammers, and hilarity ensues. Deadpool, hilarity ensues. Issue 1. It's the Walrus. That's the one that Deadpool tricked with the hammer. Issue 3. Fearsome 4. Some kind of a weird takeoff on the Defenders. Got the Nighthawk, Man-Thing, Frankenstein, She-Hulk, and Howard the Duck teaming up for an adventure. And everybody burns up at the end in issue 4. Let's see. Spider-Man, of course, just to get in on the Fear itself action. There, Yost and McCone, issue 1 through issue 3. Finds himself in the bad position of fighting the Thing, who's kind of taken over by one of these hammers. There. Fear itself, the Deep, another kind of Defenders adjacent series. Got Submariner and Doctor Strange together again. Issue 1. Oh, they gotta fight Atuma, who has a hammer. It's not Atuma. Yes, it is Atuma. And let's see. I think this was during or after. I can't remember. Fear itself, the Fearless. There, issue 1. Art Adams cover. through issue 8. Crossbones, Sin, Son of Satan taking an evil turn. You would think it would be surprising for a Son of Satan to take an evil turn, but technically, you know, he wasn't a bad guy. Oh, a dire wraith. Got all kinds of ugliness in there. I think this was a series of little vignettes taking place during the event. It wasn't like one story running through all of them. I might be misremembering that. Issue 9, Storm and Mirage versus Valkyrie. Valkyrie's got one of the hammers. And issue 12, Valkyrie coming out on top. Right there, Art Adams' Valkyrie. Beauty. Got a one-shot. Fear itself, the Monkey King. I don't know why this is not in with the other one-shots, but here you go. There. Fear itself, Uncanny X-Force. So Uncanny X-Force was a series that was running at that time. Simone Bianchi doing this one. Bianchi. And having a special mission during all this. There. 3. But of course, Wolverine would go on to have his own adventure during this whole thing. There, issue 1. Through issue 3, gets himself tied to a bum. Fear itself, Youth in Revolt. So a lot of the characters that we had first seen in the initiative, come back, and we got Thor Girl, Firestar, Gravity. What's her name? What's his name? What's her name? Oh shoot! What's her name? I do know her name. No, I don't know her name. Darn it. But just kind of the younger heroes during all of this goings on. Prodigy. What's everybody doing? Fearless, which was definitely an anthology of different female Marvel superheroes having individual little stories. There, short stories, not little stories, short stories. That ran through issue 4. There. And we have got what I thought was a pretty good series, if not at least a beautiful series. Beautiful covers on series. Fearless Defenders, so it's kind of another edition of Defenders. They're all ladies. It's Valkyrie and Misty Knight and some other people. And Mark Brooks doing these covers. Just beauty. Issue 1. Issue 4. Valkyrie is kind of a paper doll. That's awesome. One of their members is the Marvel Universe version of Hippolyta of the Amazons. That was pretty cool. Got this issue by Phil Jimenez. This is another Age of Ultron. So this particular issue is not part of the main series, but she's still around in the regular issues. Issue 7. There. Just a lot of humor on the covers as well. Issue 8. Just a design sketch cover right there. And issue 12, the final issue. All this time, Valkyrie has been kind of in a situation kind of like Thor was when he first started out. She was switching places with this other lady, and then they finally get separated and realize they love one another. So that's issue 12, the last issue of that. And we have Felicia Hardy, Black Cat. So first mini-series starring the Black Cat of the Marvel Universe before the modern versions of her modern series. Issue 1 and through issue 4. And you know what we say as we put this pack away? Bye, Felicia. Have the Female Furies, 6-issue mini-series from a few years ago, just kind of giving some background on how the Female Furies formed. Some of it gets a little sketchy at times. You know, they kind of are at Darkseid's mercy and work for him, and you know, sometimes okay. Issue 1 through issue 6 right there. I will say this series is good because it does not make Mad Harriet sexy. I hate it when they make her sexy. She's not sexy. She's fugly. Alright, 6. Next we have from our 90s stunt collection, we have the Ferret with its completely die-cut book. There, Ferret number 1, ripped from the pages of Protectors, Malibu. And now we get to FF, which is what Fantastic Four became after Johnny Storm had died and Spider-Man took his place. Continuing that Jonathan Hickman storyline. At the end of that book, issue 1 there through issue 8. Got a nice smattering of Fantastic Four genius villains there. FF number 9 there. And issue 16 there. Still Hickman doing his thing. And then Johnny Storm comes back. And he and Spider-Man are hanging out. As you do with your pal. I'm surprised this one isn't a bigger book since that other one with the two of them is so expensive. Issue 19. The kids doing their thing, riding rhinos. Probably bundle these last couple all together. Issue 20. Right there. Kids get tied up with some, I think it was some grown-ups. They went to some sort of alien school, and so they were in school with alien kids from, known races that we know from the Marvel Universe, and then they get in trouble and the parents show up or something like that. Issue 20. And issue 23. Final issue of that. And then it goes back to being Fantastic Four for a bit. So there you go. That is all of this box. There we go. So that's box 62. Next time we will do FF Volume 2. We'll go through some Final Crisis, some Firestorm, and we'll end up at Flare. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a great day.